What's going on, guys? Twister Don here with some PlayStation 4 ESO, and here I'm bringing you my current build that I've been working on since the game has come out. I've been doing nothing pretty much but playing this game. Really having a lot of fun with it. It's pretty good. Alright, so real quick, go over the stats. I'll go over some of the skills, and then we'll get into some combat, and I'll show you how that works. So I'm a champion rank 5. I just hit veteran rank 1 last night, which that means you reach level 50, you go to veteran rank 1. I've got 49 points into Magicka. I am a Magicka user, a destruction staff, and I also am a sword and shield user. So I've messed around with both tanking and DPS, and this is what I've been using that's most effective so far for me. And I haven't done a lot of PvP. I've done some. My swap, which is the sword and shield, I have good success in PvP with that setup. And this setup with the destruction staff, good success in PvE. So as you look at my stats here, max Magicka 19,345. I'm not going to go too much over my gear. It's just gear that I found throughout the game, level 50, some maybe veteran rank 1, nothing special. But it does all have Magicka bonuses on it. Everything adds Magicka. My jewelry reduces the cost of spells. My Magicka recovery is so high because I have supernatural recovery from being a vampire, which is really effective, and the Atronach Mundus Stone. Also stage 4 vampirism. If you really want to get into some good resource regeneration, be in stage 4 vampirism using Bat Swarm, Devouring Swarm Morph, and using this skill right here on Earthen Heart called Battle Roar. Every time I use my ultimate, it restores 70% of all my resources. Being in stage 4 vampirism, my Bat Swarms only cost 158 ultimate. That's super low, super low. So I've almost, like, at least every other battle, short battle, I can use it, and at least twice in a long battle, because they usually die before, usually don't have to use more than 2 ultimates. Excuse me. Alright, so a little bit about skills and strategies. Staff side of things, it's based on DPS and fire damage. Being a Dunmer Dragon Knight, you have the ability in the passives to have increased fire damage and fire resistance, which goes good for the vampire because you take a lot of extra fire damage being a vampire. Fire Ring, a Morph of Impulse, just great AoE, just spammable. I hardly ever run out of mana since I'm using light armor and I've got a lot of recovery. Burning Talons is a must. It controls people, it traps them. Kind of looks like a little Diablo prison thing if you've ever played that game. But you don't want to get overwhelmed when you're using light armor. Engulfing Flames, not that it does a lot of damage, but it is a damage over time spell, plus it adds 10% extra damage to all my other fire skills. So I hit them with that first and before I use all my other fire skills. Inferno, you get that, and just by having that active increases your spell critical, and is really handy for that. All you got to do is cast it and it stays on you until you swap out equipment, or it just lasts. You can see the duration there, 432,000 seconds. I don't know what's up with that. Structured Entropy is a Mage's Guild skill. Kind of probably won't be able to get that until later in the game, but pretty much what it does is damage over time effect. But the main reason I use it is the major sorcery, increasing your spell damage by 20%. And of course we have Devouring Swarm for 5 seconds. It does 1,494 damage and also heals me. That's the main reason. Now, on my other side, Flame Lash, it's really good because you can heal yourself for 2,710 HP. Being that I only have like 9,000, that's huge after you stun them. So how do you stun them? Burning Talon stuns them. It'll proc the Flame Lash healing effect. Invasion, knocking them down, will proc it. Defensive Posture is great for blocking. I do block a lot. You have to block a lot when you're wearing light armor. You'll get overwhelmed. Green Dragon Blood is money. It restores your HP, gives you stamina recovery, and it's huge because I have so much mana I can sit there and spam that and recover my health. It's huge to have a self-heal ability. And of course Devouring Swarm. Like I said, I'm not going to go over my gear much, but light armor is the way to go. I've got everything maxed out. You've got everything. You've got reduces the cost of spells. You've got increased magic recovery, spell resistance, critical, penetration. So no lie. So let's go ahead and get into some combat. First thing I do Inferno, and then I start off my battles with Structured Entropy. gives me that damage over time effect and increases my spell damage. One thing about the vampire that's good, you can sneak around at full speed, which is huge. Alright, so I see a mob over there. Let's go see what we can do here. Alright, so I'm sneaking up on them. When I get up on them, talons, entropy, hit them with a engulfing flames, and then I just spam this. These are level 50 enemies, so they're not. They are pretty much the same. I'm veteran rank 1, so it's not like I'm so far ahead of these guys that I can just, you know, cakewalk over them like this, like I'm doing now. But if you have your skills set up right where they complement each other, you can do this type of thing. It just makes it really easy to. Because if you think about it, you know, all my skills have a purpose. Engulfing flames adds extra damage to the fire ring, and burning talons is trapping them. Structured entropy is increasing my damage. Of course, bat swarm will recover my HP, and I'll show you that here in just a second. So charge attack, entropy for damage over time, engulfing flames, and then just spam until he's dead. Notice my mana bar. Watch it recover. I don't have any problems with mana. So that is the advantage. Now when I was using heavy armor, I had about 150 less magic of recovery, and now I would run out of mana, but of course I was a lot more beefier. So you really gotta decide what style you want to play. It's hard to mix and match, but are you going to be a DPS, or are you going to be a tank? You gotta really make that decision. Especially if you're playing with people. Nobody wants to play with you when you haven't figured out your own role, you know. So makes it kind of frustrating, especially if you're doing dungeons and you got a guy who's not, you know, specifically assigned to do something. So I'll show you something right here. Nucleus Wing Twilight. This is how sneak works. It's so handy. See, I can full speed. Now watch me sneak up on these guys. These guys don't know what's coming. Trap them. Just trap them like that with talons and just nuke them down. It's money. That is money. So, do more. Alright, so you've kind of gotten the idea of what I'm doing here with the staff side of things. So, here in just a second, let's take a look at the sword and shield side of things. Now, sword and shield, green dragon blood, I can block better, I can tank a little better. It's good. It's better for PvP because you can charge at somebody, knock them down, trap them with burning talons, you know, and they have to crowd control break, and they're using all their stamina while they're doing that. Let me show you bat swarm real quick. So hit these guys, just nuke them down. Look at this. That is money. Now, so when I go to sword and shield side of things, I'm wanting to be more tanky, more careful. I can actually do a little technique if it's a 1v1 fight and they're not immune to being knocked down. I can charge at them, knock them down, trap them with talents, back up until I can knock them down again, knock them down, and just rinse and repeat. It takes a while to finish a fight like that, but sometimes if you're fighting a tough opponent, that's something you have to do. So start off the fight, green dragon blood, war. And I charge in before they even have a chance. Hit them with a flame lash. Now something about flame lash, when I jump up and do that flame lash where he jumps up in the air and kind of spins around, that's the proc that allows me to heal myself. And they have to be stunned. Burning talons will stun them. Charging them and knocking them down will also proc it. Holding my shield up. I'm always holding my shield up, and when I'm in staff mode, I'm always holding my staff up. I'll exhaust my stamina. Why? Because when if you have light armor and they're all around you and they're trying to, you know, kill you with light armor, it's very possible that you can die just like with a snap of your fingers. So that's why I'm always holding my shield up. I've put a lot of points into block, and when at my champion points, I'm putting a lot of points into block. It's so useful. But yeah, so green dragon's blood, storm in. Now watch this. I can actually just use lash like this, hold my shield. See, I'm not taking any damage. Now if I need HP, I need HP. See, I just recovered my HP. I can back off, charge again, 80 HP, HP recovered. See that? So that is very useful. A different playstyle, very effective in PvP when you're restoring your HP constantly, charging, knocking them down, exhausting their stamina. Very useful, I found out. Use some bats there, but anyways, guys, that is that's about all I got here. What do you think of the build? This is pretty effective build here. I would, if you're going to play a Dragon Knight, I would say go Dunmer for the fire. If you're going to be a vampire, go Dunmer for the fire resistances. And that's what I've been doing. I've been having pretty good success with it. But anyways, if you're on PlayStation 4 and you want to hit me up, send me a friend request, and we'll do some dungeons or something, and talk about some builds. And curious to see what kind of builds everybody's using. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.